Hey, this is Don from Padlock Technologies again. Quick video. Got this question at least 5 times already, talking to numerous clients. So I decided to make a video just in case somebody else has this question about these two specific pieces of technology. So what's the question? Very simple. If I already have Cisco Umbrella, do I need to go to Cisco Secure Access? I think I made a video on this. Don't quote me on this. So I'm writing it. I'm doing this video again, just in case I did not make a video on this. The answer is depends. So reason why I got the blackboard is because I'm going to write out why it depends. So we're going to have, should I go directly to secure access? And like I said, depends. Why? Because it depends on if you're going to use future technology, future technology later on down the line. And what does that mean? So we got Umbrella, and then we got Secure Access. If you're an Umbrella customer, you should already know you got Essentials and Advantage for DNS layer security. Nowadays, this ain't enough, right? If you get Umbrella and you just got DNS layer security, you're kind of not using Umbrella to its fullest potential, right? And again, you have Essentials, and then you got Advantage, right? Basic DNS layer security. But yeah, that's fine and all. But again, if you just have that, you're not using Umbrella to its fullest potential. If you want to use Umbrella to its fullest potential, now you have to bring in SIG, right? Which is Secure Internet Gateway. Right. This is where you get the WSA stuff, SSL decryption, remote browser isolation, which is a separate license, by the way. Cisco, you got to change. That's something you got to change. Like, if they get SIG Advantage, they should automatically get remote browser isolation. It makes no sense to charge another license for remote browser isolation. So I'm going to say you still have Essentials and Advantage, but for right now, RBI is a separate license, right? Which is remote browser isolation. And I already did a video on remote browser isolation. I could put something in the card somewhere in here so you could see what remote browser isolation is, right? You still get the ability for protecting mobile devices, right? So I showed that protecting the mobile devices using an app and having DNS flow through that, web policies flow through that. But that's where it stops, really, right here. This is where it stops, right? Now, if you want to go to secure access, this is when you should do it. Because secure access, obviously, I would say go directly to Advantage, but they have an Essentials. But if it were me, I would just go directly to Advantage. Makes no sense to just go into Essentials. Essentials is for like the bare minimum, but Advantages are going to give you advantages over Essentials. So just go to Essentials. Go to Advantage. So now secure access gives you all of this. So you can just move everything from Umbrella over. The Umbrella functions. Man, my handwriting is bad. Umbrella functions. All right. And then it adds on ZTNA, VPN, VPA, VPN as a service. Right, and specify RA VPN. So the minute you need these functionalities, you automatically have to go to Cisco Secure Access. That's without a doubt. The minute you need ZTNA or want to get involved with REVPN as a service, you need to go to secure access. Again, this right here will reduce CapEx, which is REVPN as a service, will reduce CapEx and maintenance for hardware, right? Hardware maintenance. Hardware. For the most part, if you have private resources and they're single server resources, you can get away with just doing ZTNA. You really don't need to do REVPN as a service if you like, oh, I just have one web server or something like that, or some server that I got an RDP into or something along that route, some private resource, like a couple private resources that are still on an on-prem location. You may be able to just get away with ZTNA and don't even use REVPN as a service. And when it comes to deployment options, a lot of people start moving into the ZTNA stuff and then using REVPN as a service as like a fail safe if they just can't use ZTNA for some odd reason, right? Because again, with secure access, this is going to give you the outbound features, right? I mean, the inbound and the outbound features, inbound and the outbound features, right? So this is where private resources come in. I just wrote inbound and outbound and you didn't even see that. So let's move myself over here real quick so you can actually see what I just wrote. And drop me right there. So you have inbound and outbound features for your private resources is inbound, outbound is to protect web. With Umbrella, this is only outbound. That's all it is, right? It's going when your resources inbound want to reach some outbound place, internet wise and all that good stuff. This is where Umbrella protection comes in. The minute you want to do some inbound stuff, you automatically have to go to secure access, right? And since you're already getting that umbrella functionality in secure access with the outbound stuff, now you're adding the inbound stuff. This is where you're modernizing your WAN infrastructure and you're allowing, again, business agility by having people be able to go anywhere, anytime, be secure, access resources, whether they're in the cloud, because you can spin up resource connectors in the cloud and then use ZTNA to just connect people to the resource connectors. You can do that. Same thing with REVPN. You can, if they connect to REVPN, and let's say, and I just had this conversation actually, is if you have a cloud data center and you have resources that people need to get to, and you're not using site-to-site tunnels, you can technically do REVPN, spin up some routers in the cloud, CSRs, I believe, or something like that, do a tunnel to secure access, and then those tunnels, you do BGP, and now when you're trying to get to a resource based on DNS, it'll go to the cloud, and your users don't know if they're, going to the on-prem data center or the cloud data center. That's the beauty of, something like SASE and Cisco Secure Access, right? But SASE in general, it allows you to have workforce mobility anywhere in the world. They can get to their resources securely. Again, like our slogan says, anytime, anywhere, securely. That's the whole purpose of SASE, whole purpose of Cisco Secure Access, to get you to your resources no matter where you are, safe and securely, right? Can't do that with Umbrella. Umbrella's great. It is great for one specific thing, outbound protection. Okay. So if you just are you don't see yourself anytime in the future, and I don't like using that phrase because that may change, and there's nothing worse than dumping a whole bunch of money into a product like Umbrella, and then you're like, oh well, no, we need inbound protection, we need inbound, we want to be able to use SASE to get to our resources inbound, and now you have to now convert everything over from Umbrella to secure access, and now you have licenses just sitting there, unless you could work out a deal somewhere in Cisco where they'll credit you Umbrella licenses to source Cisco Secure Access. You're kind of stuck with Umbrella at the time, right? VPN as a service. Most people are not going to use this if they already have a VPN contractor until they're getting close to maintenance contract expiring. When this gets close to that, then start thinking about going to VPN as a service and just decomming the entire VPN concentrator. But it also, if you got site-to-site VPNs on there, um, it depends on where they're placed. Because if they're in the cloud, you can just do a site-to-site tunnel directly to the cloud. You don't have to really worry about the VPN concentrator. But if they're in their on-prem data center, you kind of got to keep that VPN concentrator at least for site-to-site VPN connectivity for your vendors. So that is the depend situation of should you go to secure access. Now, if you don't have Umbrella, then I'm gonna tell you go straight to secure access. Avoid later on down the line you saying, "Oh man, we should have went to secure access," and now depending on how many policies you got in Umbrella, you have to manually port that over. Hopefully, Cisco can have a way to integrate secure access with Umbrella for migration, so you can just magically migrate your Umbrella policies in secure access. But that's wishful thinking. This is a manual port over or migration. So you have a bunch of policies, you got to recreate those policies in secure access and then migrate everybody over to secure access. So hopefully that answers your question. If I create another video on this, my bad. Like, I don't remember I had a video on it. So I decided to create a video specifically talking about the depend situation. So hopefully this video was informative. Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. And if you are an Umbrella customer and you're only DNS layer security and you only care about outbound protection and you want to go to Umbrella SIG, click the link below. Let's do a discovery call, get you in the SIG. I can manage the SIG for you if you don't have it on staff, and we can help you better utilize Umbrella in a nutshell. Because a lot of people, they do DNS layer security, but they're not really doing it 100% correctly. So an assessment of your current Umbrella environment is probably something you need. If you don't have Umbrella and you just want outbound security, we can get you into our Umbrella or our managed services, and we can manage it for you and then give you that outbound protection no matter where you are. You could be, I did a video on this as well. You could be in the headquarters, at the data center, at home. You're protected for outbound. Now, if you're like, nope, we want to actually get into secure access, if you already have it and you haven't fully utilized it yet, click the link below for discovery intro call. We can do an assessment on what you've already done in secure access and tell you how to optimize it, right? Maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe something you're trying to do and you got it half baked in there and it's not working. We can look at it and then we can assess and tell you how to fix it and remediate it if you already have secure access. If you don't have secure access and you're looking to get secure access, we can build secure access for you from the ground up. Now, obviously, we need to work with you to actually build the underlay environment, the tunnels and all that stuff, get the roles and everything set up. But this is something you don't want to go to alone, because if you break something, it's very hard to kind of troubleshoot within secure access if you've never seen it before. So if you're looking to get SASE in your environment, modernize your WAN infrastructure, allow your employees to get to their resources no matter where they are in the world, take advantage of SASE, click the link below and let's get a discovery call. This is Don from Padlock Technologies. I hope this video was informative. Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you, and have a nice day.